Rivers of the Mind, Season 3, Episode 2. Oitelotep.
About a mile and a half into the trail, Sapphire and I had reached 2 points of agreement. First of all, there was no sun here, and the place we were standing was definitely overlooking the edge of a steep white hillside that extended downwards into a huge festering darkness. The fact that we agreed on any of this was something of a small miracle because, well, up until that point we hadn't been able to agree on anything about any of the physical features of the place that we found ourselves in. She thought that we were going uphill. I thought we were going downhill. She thought the path was going straight, and I thought that it was winding through mountains. It was a minor puzzle relative to the previous existential quandary of becoming a cloud, but it was still perplexing. Geography wasn't the only thing we were divided about. We were also still divided about the bird. And the subject of the bird seemed to loom over every break in conversation, even if, I hadn't actually brought it up. Nothing I'd said genuinely eased Sapphire's guilt about what she'd done. It just made her feel like she couldn't talk about it, I guess. I knew that it needed to happen, but I didn't really have the words to explain it to her, not fully. After all, I could only guess how true the words it said to me were. I didn't want to say anything to her if it would, just freak her out. But whatever the truth was, I hoped that she could find some peace about it. Anyway, like I was saying, despite our general agreement about the hillside, we still differed about, whether or not someone was moving inside of the festering darkness on the bottom. Or maybe not someone, maybe a creature in the darkness, or it could have been, the darkness itself. What did it mean? This is just the kind of conversation that you have when you're high on acid and a decomposing psychic hexateron. And the conversation wasn't just chatter. It was strategy. It was born out of a fight for survival. That we had to look for meaning or order or patterns in to find anything coherent about the world around us. Anything that crossed our minds could hold the key to figuring it all out. And it felt like Sapphire and I were both at least asking the same questions, which I hoped would eventually lead us in the right direction. What do you think the darkness means? What about these mountains? Mountains exist, right? Yeah, geologists study mountains, don't they? What got you into geology? Those sorts of questions. Rock guide, and you'd see all these different rocks, and you'd see where they came from in nature, and then you could look down at the info box, and you see like what the rock's personality's like, where it came from, what kinds of things it's been through to get where it is, and they're almost like characters in a movie.
Right. What is it?
Wait, listen. That sound.
What do you think it is? Like a mouse?
No, it's happening too regularly.
Let me see. Hey. It's a cart.
A cart?
It's being pulled by an ox. Come look.
That's so... I wonder who that is. I can't see his face behind the hat. And look at his ox.
I know, right? It's so normal.
Yeah, it's exactly what an ox would look like in real life.
I know, that's just what I was thinking.
Sorry, I thought you already said it.
I did, I think. Well, what do we do?
Well, we could wait for him to get to us, and then maybe ask him a few questions. Or I bet if we kept walking, he probably wouldn't even see us. He's pretty far away.
What's he got in the cart? Can you see?
It's something under a blanket. I'm not sure.
He doesn't look armed, right? I don't see any weapons on him.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, maybe we should ask him where this road leads.
Sure. And maybe he can tell us where the fuck we are.
Sapphire grabbed me by the shirt sleeve of my arm and she pulled me back down the trail.
Hey you, guy, speak English? Got a minute?
She waved her left hand. I walked right next to her, looking down the steep hill into the festering darkness. The man lifted his head for a moment, and I could see his face. Weathered, brown, wrinkled, his skin drooped with age, making his features seem serious underneath his baggy straw hat as he munched on a thick wad of grass out the side of his mouth. Blood stained the sides of his lips and his hands.
Yeah, over here. Come on, I don't think he sees us.
I followed her as her pace quickened. The old man's eyes grew wider as he saw her come near. He pulled on the ox and muttered something to it to make it stop. I didn't hear what. To his right side, I saw him reaching for a knife, thinking that we might be highwaymen out to rob him.
Hey man, nice ox. It's real like normal. Do you know where we are?
The man looked back and forth between us both, frowning, his hands gripping tighter around the knife. Why would we ask such a thing, he wondered. Why would someone travel along a road like this and not know where they were? It was the only road for 100 miles east and west, leading only to one place at the edge of the world, drawing only pilgrims and the occasional traders seeking exotic goods for the market. There were monsters here, horrible fanged serpents that spat venom, enormous tigers that lurked in plain sight, stalking those foolish enough to stray from the road. The two travelers were dressed in strange, foreign fabrics. Their skin looked nearly translucent, their faces pale white like someone starved of air, in almost inexplicable sickly color, the woman in particular. The old man could see tight bruises around her neck, a blood stain in her left eye, blood underneath her fingernails.
Please, can you understand what I'm saying? Comprehende? Hey, sprechen Sie English?
Sapphire's mysterious alien words frightened him. Was she trying to cast a spell? Was she a witch? Don't be afraid.
Who are you?
Well, my name's John, and this is Sapphire. And we just, we wanted to know where the road, leads, 'cause we, found it by accident.
Where did the two of you come from,
Right, yeah, how do I explain it?
Down the ways to the end of this road, there's a house, right? You know that place?
Know of the place, yes, but only from afar. Only a fool would venture so far into the doldrums.
Yeah, well, it's not about the destination, man. It's about the journey, right? What about, you? Where did you come from?
Oi.
What?
Oi. The city of Oi? You mean you haven't heard of Oi?
That's its name? Just Oi?
Well, that's what I said. Oi. A city of peace, light, goodwill.
Really gets right to the point, man. I dig it. Oi.
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 Oi. A city's name does not need to mangle the tongue. You two must have traveled from very far away to have not heard of Oi. Far and wide it is among the most renowned kingdoms in the world. Tell me, what is the purpose of your voyage?
Well, we're from
From the kingdom of...
2017.
What? Yeah. Yeah, 2017 idols. It's very
rich. It's a very rich kingdom.
Very rich.
It's very rich.
We're thinking of adding more idols.
Yeah.
But then we'd have to change the name.
Of course.
And then we'd have to redo all the signs and reput all the money, so
yeah.
it'd be a real bummer.
Feel like you can't have too many idols, you know. You gotta have a consistent name. It's like, yeah. But anyway, we were just charting the unknown reaches of the world, and we were looking for some cities to trade with. You know,
right. We got blown off course though.
Right. Blown off course in our enchanted
sailboat.
Sailboat. It's an enchanted sailboat. It's an enchanted flying sailboat. You can't see it right now because it's invisible. Right. Of course, that's what we're trying to say. Yeah, it crashed because it's invisible, which makes it hard to drive.
Live and learn, right?
Right.
The old man nodded, supposing that we were searching for some kind of idiom from the kingdom of 2017 idols in a tongue that we did not speak correctly.
I see.
What about you? What are you doing out here?
A dream called me into the wilderness. I saw a hunter wound a catamount with a shot from his bow, but then the beast slew him. There was a place not far from here where grass breaks through the doldrum, and there it is that a woodsman planted the seed of a yew tree in a time before the forest melted into the endless white. In a time no one remembers. In the tree lives Amatep Oy, the god of hunters, wanderers, and provider of shelter. I spent 7 days and 7 nights in the shadow of the yew, eating no food, drinking only the water given to me by the tree, waiting for Amatep to reveal the reason for his call. On the eve of the 7th night, as I held my mouth up to the sky in parched agony, longing for water, I saw Amatep in a cloud of red mist, and, though the world for the entire time remained windless and dead, the tree shivered as though a storm had caught its branches. The catamount, said Amatep, was a plague which would befall our cattle, and later befall our citizens. Oy, he said, was the hunter. He said for me to warn the people that when they killed the sick fallen cattle, they must not eat them, but burn their flesh in a place far from the city. It is this message which I must bring to the people. As I returned to where I had tethered my oxen, I took one up the hill where I could slay it with my knife and share a drink and a meal with Amatep and Thanksgiving. As I returned home, I saw a terrible omen. A huge ghost bird, colored white and red and black, cut a slow path over the sky, heading to the edge of the doldrums. I saw it in the distance, perching on the house of which you spoke, but when I returned to the road, I saw its bones lying scattered off in the distance.
I think I saw that bird.
Did you now?
Yeah, it tried to bite John. So I ended up killing it on accident.
You killed the ghost bird.
Yes. I grabbed it by its legs and I spun it around until its neck snapped.
Suddenly, the disheveled face of the woman now made sense. She had come face to face with and killed and skinned bare the ghost bird. With her hands alone. What tremendous force she must have had to do such a thing. What incredible power, bravery, resolve. He realized the gravity of his mistake. He thought of a temple. I couldn't quite understand why. No words came to his mind, only the image. An idol he plucked from a river a long time ago. His chest filled with a mixture of terror and ecstasy, and he prostrated himself on the ground.
Oh, Sapphire, oi. Please have mercy on me if I seemed rude. Understand that I did not realize what you were, that I had not known your name or your power till now.
It's fine. Yeah, you're... John?
He thinks you're a demigod?
What should I do?
Just, go with the flow, I guess?
Right. Yeah, you really angered me there, man. That wasn't cool. But, you can stop bowing. We're fine now. You wanna just, show us the way to Oi?
Of course, Sapphire, prophet of the 2017 idols. Yes. And this must be your servant. What is he called?
Yes, my servant. His name is John.
Oh, okay, so I'm your servant now, that's cool.
Yeah, don't get your knickers in a twist, man. I'm just going with the flow.
We walked for what felt like about 2 more hours, winding through canyons and mountains and strange alpine meadows. The sound of a river emanated from far away, at first barely a whisper. As we neared the sound, a faint green grass consumed the austere white and blue wilderness. The closer we grew to the city, the scarcer the tiny patches of rusted and warped graph paper became. Oxen, huge, bulky creatures with long horns, waded in the outskirts in fields that stretched for miles. Shepherds smoked pipes atop tall chairs with high ladders. As we passed, they would look down their noses at us, fearful and submissive eyes half sheltered by baggy straw hats, not unlike the one worn by the prophet. As we grew nearer, we saw a city filled with tan houses shaped like overturned pots. The quaint, almost Seussical city perched beside the crook of a river so large it could have been a sea. From the roofs of each house sprouted curved chimneys. Their round windows, ornamented with criss-crossing bones, opened to the humid, warm air outside to let a cooling and peaceful breeze waft through the rooms. Each house had a triangular opening that served as an entryway. In place of a door, a semicircle of jewels over each entrance indicated the status and the roles of the people with the right to go inside.
You're not allowed to enter the temple. Only by birthright may someone cross.
The streets of the city, cobbled from sandstone and lined with neat mica sidewalks, heaved sporadically through the mess of round clay buildings and ended haphazardly at the city's edges, giving way to rows of plain brick and wood houses. People hawking snacks, trinkets, gods, drinks, curses, feathers, magic items, animals, herbs, baskets, tools, weapons, and garments made of fresh leather lined the streets, bellowing out their wares in a constant battle to be heard. In between them weaved sagely women engaged in conversation, circles of adolescents playing flutes and drums, old men telling stories to younger men and debating with them the meaning of the prophet's dream of the catamount. But before we could reach this city, we passed through the houses of brick and wood, where the smell of leather tanning in the heat of the open, sunless air mingled with the sound of hammers pounding against hot metal. In front of the houses, women carved idols, weaved baskets, and baked snacks in their yards, which spilled out into the road on which we walked. Our presence in the city of brick and wood brought a solemn and mystified silence. A child reached out to touch Sapphire's hair, and the prophet hit him with the back of his hand, making the boy cry out and run back to his mother. Sapphire winced. The prophet looked back at her and apologized.
I am sorry. This is the only way into the city.
Taking advantage of our momentary pause, a crowd gathered around us, keeping cautious distance as they speculated about what the prophet had learned in the wilderness, and who he had brought back with him. Eventually,
The crowd grew so massive that the prophet could hardly move, and he begrudgingly helped us up onto the top of the wagon. A hush fell over the mass of people.
I return from the edge of the world with news, dear people of Oi. Not only words from the great god of the hunter, but a great hero, the child of spirits, who ventured beyond the doldrums and slayed a ghost bird with her own 2 hands. A foreign prophet like the one I have foretold. She walks among you today. Know her and fear her, for she has great power. You who work in the inferior trades, you sculptors, metalworkers, tanners, those who work with clay and with stone, with wood and with filth, do not let your hands soil her.
Yeah, actually, do you mind if I say something?
Surely, please forgive me.
Yeah, hi everyone. So, thanks, man, for saying all that nice stuff, but you guys really don't need to freak out or anything, alright? Like, it's okay if poor people touch me. Man, God, that's kind of fucked up what you said.
I did not realize. Perhaps I misspoke?
Yeah, it's cool, but, if I'm being honest, you're kind of being a dick. Do you want to apologize to that kid? Yeah. Yeah, you. Yeah, come up here. Are you doing okay? Yeah, don't be scared. Hey, I'm sorry that dude hit you. He's scary. Yeah, here, bring it here. Peace and love, man. Peace and love, everybody. You got it, guys? Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love!
And don't let prophets shit on your art, okay? I mean, this guy's a pretty cool guy. I guess he made a sacrifice to Imhotep, the hunter god. But, he's cool. We're cool. Everything's cool. But yeah, just to riff off of what this guy said, my name is Sapphire. Like this guy said, I'm a demigod. I killed a ghost bird. My servant John here, and I came from a faraway kingdom called the Kingdom of 2017 Idols. It's got lots of idols. And I'm here to tell you about peace and love, alright? Right. Peace and love, that's like the most important thing for people to understand. Like in the Kingdom of 2017 Idols, they don't have that figured out yet, but if you can figure that out, you're basically set. Peace is like everyone should come together. Don't fight each other. Don't go invading fucking Vietnam because you think you're the world's police or whatever. Just chill out and go with the flow. Be cool, okay? And then love is like... That's like just... It's kind of just like peace, but I mean, it's kind of no different. You know what I mean? Just don't act like you're better than anybody else. Because we're all basically the same deep down inside, even if you're a prophet, okay? Does that make sense? Like, come here. Dude, you. Yeah, you. With the groovy cow sculpture. Is that some idol shit or something, man?
Yes, it is the likeness of one of Shadalai's mighty bulls.
Right on. So I guess you pray to this.
Of course, I honor its likeness every night.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, far out, man.
One day she will sit in a great temple.
And look, I see I'm hugging this guy, right? No sweat.
Sweat?
It's no sweat.
Please.
Oh, sorry, did I bump into you?
Do not hurt me.
Don't freak out.
Oh, God.
Oh, my shirt?
Your skin.
Yeah, it's a demigod thing. Hey, John, look at this basket. I really like this. What's your name?
Gebbadali.
Can I call you Allie? Okay. Yeah, this is a really nice basket. I don't know if we're in Babylonian times or something, but I feel like I'm changing human history. That this basket is really nice. It's gonna be in a museum someday. A museum is like a place where we put cool stuff, like this basket in the future, or that cow, or those pots. No, not yours. His. Yours are cool too, though. All right, man, I'm done.
A few meager, bewildered claps came from the audience. The prophet avoided looking at her, seeming sorrowful.
My lord, I hope you understand. I did not strike the child out of malice, only to teach it respect.
Yeah, I know. Sorry if I came off a bit harsh. I just felt like it was a good time to kind of just speak my mind, I guess. See you guys. Bye. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for listening to Rivers of the Mind this week. My name's Timmy Vilgiate. I wrote and produced the show, and I also played the part of John. Sophie Doss played the part of Sapphire and was also a number of people who were in the crowd. CJ Hackett played the part of the prophet Oitelotep, and crowd members included Daniel Rojas, who was featured as a sculptor, Cindy Verzwyvelt featured as Gebbadali, Christina Vilgiate featured as the woman Sapphire bumped into, and additional voices including Marissa Burdette, Anthony Carlson, Joshua Leano, Priscilla Yip, Collin Estes, and Anthony Vilgiate. If you would like to be a part of the crowd next week, you can email tjvilgiate@gmail.com. That's tjvilgiate@gmail.com. Rivers of the Mind is an independent production, so if you are interested in giving us money, you can give us money at patreon.com /Timmy Vilgiate. Currently, the Patreon mainly covers the hosting fees for the show, but if we get enough Patreon subscribers, we could also invest in instruments or paying actors, which would be so good, and I would love to be able to do that. Anyway, thank you folks very much for listening, and I hope that those of you who are watching the Super Bowl enjoy doing that, and that yeah, that's all I've got to say. Bye.